Hello, everyone. My name is Candice Rodriguez, and I'll be going over a functional behavior assessment case study on Sheldon Cooper. Sheldon Cooper is a fourth grade gifted student in a 99th percentile cognitive ability. He is a GT student who gets services and accommodations through a 504 plan. He demonstrates advanced reasoning, vocabulary, problem solving skills, exhibits perfectionism, emotional regulation challenges, and difficulty with peer relationships. His teacher has submitted 3 behavior intervention referrals due to increasing classroom disruptions, and the presenting concern is that his teacher reports that Sheldon frequently calls out during instruction, and that he is speaking over others, refusing academic tasks, and eventually engaging in verbal outbursts and minor property disruption. His behaviors not only interfere with instruction, but also impacts relationships with classmates and his overall social emotional development. When reviewing referrals, it becomes evident that Sheldon's behaviors follow a pattern of escalation. The first referral describes frequent callouts and talking over the teacher. The second referral documents repeated interruptions, answering questions without permission, and making sarcastic comments after being redirected. By the third referral, the behavior has escalated to yelling, refusing assignments, using profanity, insulting classmates, and pushing classroom materials onto the floor. This progression suggests that Sheldon experienced increased frustration when he perceives tasks as repetitive, when he is unable to immediately share his knowledge, or when he is redirected during instruction. Rather than viewing these behaviors as simply defiant, it is important to recognize that behavior communicates a need. Identifying that need allows educators to teach more appropriate responses. The target behavior selected for reduction is verbal outbursts. For this intervention, verbal outbursts are operationally defined as any instance in which Sheldon calls out without permission, interrupts instruction, talks over peers or the teacher, makes sarcastic remarks, yells, uses profanity, or insults others during instructional activities. Examples include blurting out answers, correcting the teacher without permission, yelling that he refuses to complete an assignment, or telling another student to shut up. Non-examples include raising his hand, waiting to be acknowledged, asking questions respectfully, or requesting assistance appropriately. Selecting this target behavior addresses the behaviors most frequently documented throughout the referral process, while also reducing disruptions that affect the entire classroom. The replacement behavior I selected is respectful self-advocacy. Instead of interrupting or becoming verbally disruptive, Sheldon will raise his hand, wait to be acknowledged, or appropriately communicate his needs by saying phrases such as, "May I explain my thinking?" or "Could I have a more challenging assignment?" If he begins to feel frustrated, he may also request a break using the supports already outlined in his 504 plan. This replacement behavior serves the same function as a challenging behavior because it still allows Sheldon to express his ideas, seek intellectual challenge, and communicate frustration, but in a socially appropriate manner that promotes positive classroom interactions. Before making the referrals, Mr. Hofstetter implemented several proactive antecedent interventions designed to reduce the likelihood of problem behaviors. These strategies include behavior-specific praise, teaching proximity during instruction, allowing Sheldon to choose the order of assignments to increase autonomy, and consistently reviewing classroom expectations before discussions. Sheldon has also provided scheduled breaks, access to a calm-down space, and counseling supports through his 504 plan. These interventions demonstrate that the teacher is focused on prevention rather than punishment. However, because this behavior continues to escalate, additional instruction that teaches Sheldon to independently regulate his own behavior is warranted. Self-management intervention. My proposed intervention is a self-monitoring strategy titled Think Before You Speak. According to Lofton, self-monitoring interventions equip students to recognize and keep track of their own behavior. Using these strategies, students can learn to identify and increase positive pro-social behaviors necessary for success in general education settings. During each instructional period, Sheldon will complete a brief self-monitoring checklist by asking himself 5 questions. Did I raise my hand before speaking? Did I wait my turn? Did I use respectful language? Did I stay calm when I disagreed? Did I ask for help or a break when I needed one? At the end of the lesson, Mr. Hofstetter will briefly review the checklist with Sheldon and provide immediate feedback. If Sheldon successfully meets his daily goal, he will earn reinforcement connected to his interests, such as astronomy research time, an independent STEM project, or additional science enrichment. Self-monitoring is especially appropriate because gifted learners often possess strong cognitive abilities, but benefit from explicit instruction in executive functioning and emotional regulation. As stated in the article, using self-monitoring strategies to address behavior and academic issues will often explain self-monitoring interventions foster independent functioning, which allows individuals with disabilities to rely less on prompts from others. This intervention gradually shifts responsibility from the teacher to the student, promoting long-term independence. Why this intervention? It'll teach him self-management interventions, increase self-regulation, and reduce disruptive behaviors, promoting his independence. So we will, with consistent implementation, he should demonstrate some expected outcomes such as few verbal outbursts, improved task completion, increased emotional regulation. So, in conclusion, Sheldon is an exceptionally gifted student whose behavior challenges should be viewed through a strengths-based lens. His behaviors appear to communicate frustration, a desire for intellectual engagement, and difficulty regulating emotions rather than a lack of ability or motivation. According to Lofton, when self-monitoring skills increase, corresponding reductions in undesired behaviors often occur, even without direct intervention. By combining effective antecedent interventions, explicit instruction of replacement behaviors, and a structured self-management system, his teacher can reduce classroom disruptions while helping Sheldon develop the social-emotional skills necessary for long-term success. As educator Harry Wong wisely stated, effective teachers manage their classrooms by teaching procedures, not by reacting to misbehavior. When we teach students behaviors we expect and provide opportunities to practice and reinforce those behaviors, we create classrooms where every learner, including gifted students like Sheldon, can thrive. Thank you for your time and attention.